hostage of Europe and beneficiary. As you can see behind me is the Canadian embassy. Last time I had to send them another email to their Prime Minister and the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, as well as their embassy here. I already gave them a hard copy of the same letter with a lot of test results from my recent hospitalizations, with many photos of my hunger strikes, 200 strike and protest in front of the UNHCR's office from over the past 42 months. This email was referring to my recent email address to the top officials, senior officials at the United Nations Refugee Agency regarding the continuation of my imprisonment in Greece. Here it is, the letter. It was 2 pages, and the letter itself I already submitted to the embassy, and I'm going to read this letter to you, and will be on my way. This letter was sent to, this email was sent to them last night, Tuesday, November 3rd, as you can see here. So I'm just going to quickly read this email and will be on my way, as I said. Subject, dire emergency, seeking help for my resettlement through UNHCR or private sponsors, Group 5, or to be granted entry to Canada. Dear Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, and dear Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, the Honourable Marco E.L. Medicini. Enclosed, this is referring to my recent email address to the top officials at the United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, dated Wednesday, October 14, 2020. I am a 34 years old civil engineer, a stateless person in exile for over 15 years, and a beneficiary of international protection, therefore a refugee by definition, who has been held hostage in Greece for over 6 years, where I have also been deprived of everything, of even livelihoods, for all these many years, as well as continually being subject to non-stop humiliation, degradation and torture almost on a daily basis for all these years, possibly with the agenda of eventually assassinating me or starving me to death and covering it up. Whereas it has been explicitly pointed out in the above-mentioned email, due to the Dublin regulations, I was illegally deported from Sweden back to Greece in September 2015. And because of the same regulations, I will no longer be able to seek asylum protection anywhere in Europe. Which is why ever since my illegal deportation, I have been seeking resettlement, readmission in another country outside this continent. Realistically, that would be the only durable and sustainable solution with respect to my case. Although over the past few dreadful years I had continually reached out to the federal government of Canada through its embassies, as well as Canada's Prime Minister and his Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, and requested help, but regardless of all the specific details voluntarily provided to the Minister and the Canadian leadership concerning my horrifying situation and the continued tragedies these monsters have intentionally created for me here in Greece, the Minister had always completely neglected the UNHCR's and the Greek state's unacceptable treatment of my legitimate case, and had merely continued to encourage me either to chase my resettlement with the direct aid of UNHCR or alternatively try to procure a group of private sponsors, Group 5, in Canada without offering a helping hand or any solution from his own ministry or the federal government of Canada for that matter. However, I had continually explained throughout my emails that apparently those private sponsors the minister had referred me to are only interested in supporting their own relatives, which unfortunately I have none in Canada and could seem to be the reason for not being able to get past this humanitarian issue through those private sponsors, which consequently it represents my second key reason for reaching out to the minister's office and looking for desperately needed help there. But sadly, none of these heartbreaking facts seem to have captured the attention of the minister himself, or even mattered to anyone else in the minister's office. Furthermore, although my recent hunger strike and the little belated publicity it had inevitably gotten had helped tremendously to find some connections, double nationals, Kurds and Persians in Canada who had reached out to me and offered conditional help in return for their humanitarian support as my private sponsors, Group 5, but due to profound conflicts of interest yielded from a completely unfair, insensitive and cruel term of collaboration they had put forward, such as complete shutdown or rather a total elimination of my properly established and essential presence on social media, which I couldn't agree to, and respectively had in turn halted all their collaboration even up to this date. Still, I don't have any confidence that my horrendous situation would be sorted out. It is a severely critical time for me, with my life considerably being at stake and at the edge of the cliff. I cannot remain in further captivity here in Greece anymore. And whereas over the course of the past 6 years they had arbitrarily deprived me of everything and had completely depleted all my essential resources, right now I barely have any money to survive. Meanwhile, I am also waiting for an impending surgery for my gallbladder, which, in accordance to doctors, needs to be removed due to the rapid formation of many gallstones in it. This was one of the direct aftermaths of my second prolonged hunger strike, 73 days at the doorsteps of the UNHCR office in Athens, Greece, which was carried out from June 23, 2020 to September 3, 2020, almost the whole summer without any shelter on the cracked pavement and in the nasty and sickening dust. Although since my release from the second hospital, I have been staying at Elizabeth Papageorgiou's apartment, but due to financial issues mentioned above, I am under tremendous pressure to evacuate, which consequently and regardless of my current health condition, this might push me into camping again at the doorsteps of the UNHCR office, which undoubtedly result in further escalation in my dreadful and perplexing situation, and would definitely contribute not merely in intensifying all those pressures on me, but also increasing the likelihood of tragically losing my life, whether from another gallstone attack or most probably brutally by starvation. I am genuinely troubled that without an effective humanitarian help and reliable support from Canada, These monsters at the UNHCR here in Greece and the Greek government may ultimately annihilate me and cover it up rather than inevitably doing anything timely positive or offering a bit of necessary assistance for my resettlement or even for my survival. Moreover, I had also become aware that Canada had recently made an announcement for humbly accepting a considerable number of immigrants and refugees from the beginning of the upcoming year, which also indicates your country, unlike here in Greece, that had radically transformed us into unwanted, worthless and disposable creatures and had completely segregated us from the rest of the civil society. Not only is a welcoming place for refugees, but equally reliant on immigration to sustain itself, and I am confident that as a qualified and incredibly skilled engineer, I can surely be of benefit to Canada and undoubtedly contribute to its social and economic progress. On that account, I hereby once more reach out to you and your capable and generous country as a united whole to earnestly request urgent help. The matter of the fact is that as a liberal and independent country and also as a democratic society and government, something which you wouldn't find here in Greece, you wouldn't be reliant on anyone's mediation or their explicit permission to grant asylum protection to an individual refugee in dire and urgent need of effective protection. I have been undocumented now since March 19, 2018. How am I supposed to live and survive like this? Dear the Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, and dear Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, the Honorable Marco E.L. Medicini, I hereby once more resend this pressing humanitarian appeal to you and thereby requesting urgent intervention and effective collaboration for my resettlement, either with the needed support of UNHCR or through a determined group of private sponsors. Group 5 from the English community in your noble country, or alternatively to grant me official entry to Canada's territory and thusly to generously allow me promptly get Canada's protection there upon arrival. I have been persistently seeking to find asylum in Canada literally since the year 2012. Please help. Nothing like this should happen to anyone anywhere, and no one should be put through a situation like this. This is a genuine emergency. Please do not be indifferent and ignorant to what is happening here and take action now. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I am anxiously looking forward to Canada's kind consideration of this urgent asylum appeal and its appropriate response to this ongoing situation here in Greece. Please help. Thank you. A hard copy of this email, along with some pictures and documents of my 2 recent hospitalizations, will also be delivered to your embassy here in Greece in person, and I'm hereby also kindly requesting Ambassador Mark Allen's kind support in sorting out this prolonged humanitarian tragedy here in Greece. Yours respectfully, Hostage of Europe, Anwar. Well, I have provided them with The email address is phone number. My registered case number at the Greek Asylum Office 12826 from the year 2014. The address, as you are aware, my shelter was in front of the UNHCR office for nearly 4 years. They destroyed my shelter. I had to announce my second hunger strike. The whole summer I've been on hunger strike. I've been hospitalized, and now I'm pending, waiting for a surgery. And since my discharge from the hospital, I have been staying in Elizabeth's apartment. But as I mentioned here in this letter, I'm under pressure to evacuate because I don't have money. They are in economic crisis themselves. So it's a big headache, big problem. My life is at stake right now. Big issue. Also, I have provided them with some links to my Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Twitter account. As I mentioned earlier, this was sent to them last night, Tuesday, November 3rd, 2014. This was also sent to the Parliament of Canada, Speaker of the Parliamentary Committee of Citizenship and Immigration, CIMM, and Justice and Human Rights Committee in the Parliament of Canada, Senate of Canada, the Speaker of the Senate Human Rights Committee in the Senate, RITR, Canadian Human Rights Commission, CHRC, Permanent Mission of Canada, the United Nations, Canadian Embassy here in Athens, and Canadian Embassy in Rome, Italy. The sponsorship agreement holders, many of them. And lastly, dozens of civil engineering and construction companies in Canada. So I'm asking all these people to help me out sort this issue here. Indeed, I also enclosed my recent email. This was addressed to the United Nations Refugee Agency and sent to them on Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, about like 18 days ago, I think. So that would be it for this video, and right now, honestly, I don't know what is going to happen to me. Big money issue I have. I don't know if I will finally manage to find a reliable group of private sponsors in Canada, from the English community or the other people in Canada. I don't know if I would be able to stay in a shelter until this situation can be sorted out, or I will be forced to evacuate and return and erect the shelter in front of UNHCR. I don't know. I just know that I'm under pressure, really under pressure, and which is why I'm here again asking the embassy and the Canadian government to help. Please help. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye. So, and this is a Canadian embassy. That's the flag, and that's the reception. So that's it for today.